When you get criticized, do you feel hurt and diminished? You may even feel ashamed or embarrassed. How do you react when you get criticized? Why handling criticism is so hard? Let's talk about these questions and see how we can improve our reaction to criticism through self awareness. When we figure out why criticism affects us so much and so negatively, especially if we are highly sensitive, we can start working on getting better at handling it. And that's a super important skill to have that comes handy in our day to day life. But first things first, let's agree on two facts. One is that nobody likes to be criticized. I've never seen anybody who likes to be criticized. I bet you haven't either. Second fact is that learning to handle criticism is like learning any other skill. None of us were born with a natural knack for handling criticism. It is something we develop as we grow, so that we are prepared for those moments when criticism comes our way. Here are most important reasons why we don't like criticism and how we can improve our reaction to criticism through self-awareness. Threat to self-esteem and self-worth. Criticism can make us feel less competent or valued, and that challenges our self-esteem and self-worth. After spending so much time on personal growth, I found one of the main reasons criticism hits us so hard is because we have identified ourselves with the roles we play in our lives. These roles might be our jobs, our positions in the family, and how we fit into society. We take these roles as we live our lives and then we tie our identities to them without realizing this can create major problems. In simple words, we mistake our roles for our identity. I lived that way for a long time. Then I stumbled upon a book called The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, and a light bulb went off in my head. It taught me something really important. I'm not defined by the roles I play in life. Sure, I need to fulfill these roles the best way I can, but they are not the essence of who I am. So, when we define ourselves as these roles, any criticism can feel like a direct attack to our self worth and self esteem. That makes us feel insecure and vulnerable. But when we manage to untangle ourselves from these roles, even if we haven't fully discovered our core self yet, criticism loses some of its negative impact. This shift in my understanding showed me why I struggled with handling criticism, and that understanding liberated me from its pain, the pain of being criticized. It completely transformed how I handled criticism. Suddenly, I was more open to considering the thoughts and wisdom that others had to share, especially when it was related to the roles I was portraying in my life. Fear of judgment. Criticism triggers a fear of rejection because as humans we tend to look for acceptance and approval from others. As we grow in self awareness, we gradually shift our focus from seeking validation from others to finding validation within ourselves. We become more secure in our core identity, which makes criticism less threatening. This new sense of security empowers us to approach criticism with an open mind and an eagerness to learn. Vulnerability. Accepting criticism means admitting imperfections and areas for improvement, and that can feel uncomfortable. When we see and accept our imperfections and areas where we can improve through self awareness, things start to change. Self awareness also gives us the opportunity to see our strengths as well as those areas that need improvement. This balanced view of ourselves makes it less uncomfortable to admit we are not perfect. We start to see growth as a normal part of our journey, and that makes facing our imperfections a lot easier. Emotional discomfort. Negative feedback often evokes strong negative emotions like frustration, shame, embarrassment, and even anger, which we usually try to avoid. Through self awareness, we can observe our emotional responses to criticism. Instead of immediately reacting with defensiveness or hurt, we can take a step back, acknowledge how we feel, and later, when we feel better, analyze why we felt that way when we were criticized. This self reflection helps us understand our triggers and enables us to respond more calmly and constructively. Then we begin to recognize that criticism isn't a direct attack on our fundamental being, it's just a commentary on a specific role we are playing at a particular time in our life. Pressure of perfectionism. High self standards lead to seeing criticism as a failure to meet those standards, and that makes us feel frustrated and disappointed. When we process those emotions, we get clear on our tendency to be perfect. The tendency to be perfect comes from our hidden need to be approved and liked by others, and also from the fear that we are not going to be approved by others. Self awareness helps us see why we want to be perfect and also help us to let go of that perfection every time it comes up. Then we realize that criticism, especially when it is well intentioned and constructive, can be a valuable tool for our growth. Growth is an ongoing journey and we will never be perfect. It's great to accept that we will never be perfect. So, with self awareness, we can handle criticism with resilience, with openness, and with a genuine desire to evolve and grow. This transformation not only benefits us, but also improves our relationships and interactions with those around us. By untangling our identities from external roles and embracing imperfections and also valuing growth, we empower ourselves to face criticism without feeling diminished or failed. If anything I said in this video resonated with you, like my video and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.